So I grew my account from 500 to 60,000 followers in a span of 90 days. And one of the biggest part about this process is coming up with ideas, especially for people like me who are posting consistently every day or every other day. You know, I get this question all the time is how do you come up with ideas? And it's actually quite simple. So in this video, I will show you the exact methods I use to come up with content ideas easily. And today I'm gonna be breaking down 3 proven methods that will help you tap into endless inspiration so you'll never run out of ideas ever again. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Good artists copy, but great artists steal. This is the first method that I like to use, and honestly, it's probably one of the best methods that every single content creator uses. It doesn't mean to copy their scripts or their videos word for word, shot by shot, but simply search up your competitors on Instagram and TikTok and literally look for their most viral videos, steal their topic, but do not copy their script. You wanna add a little bit of uniqueness to it or your own spin to it. So I'll give you an example by doing this live. So here I have some competitors in my niche that I look up to just to take some ideas from. So the first one is Mimi and Mason. This is actually, they're a good friend of mine. They live in the same city as I do, but just looking at their content here, you can see what I would do first is go on my competitors, go to their reels and really see what is their most viewed video. So for example, they have a couple pinned posts here. One got close to 1 million, one at 1.1, and then one at 1 million. So this one's about one light setups, right? I really like the idea here, but I actually didn't take this topic. Topic I did take was 8 transitions you should know. So you can see from this video, she goes through 8 different transitions, whip pan, morph transition, the cutout. So I kind of took this concept, but instead of doing 8 transitions, I did 8 different cuts. I think she made a video about cuts as well. If we scroll down here further, let's see. Oh yeah, filming angles. This is one of the ideas that I stole from Mimi, but did my own spin. So if we look at this video right here.
Let's talk about camera angles. Here are 17 you need to know in 17 seconds. Trunk shot. Where was I?
So you can kind of see how the video goes. There's different types of angles, obviously. And this is what I did instead. So what I did is I broke down how she made that video and I came up with different shots or some of the same shots she has, but I wanted to see how I can put it in a more unique way or my own way. So what I did is actually, if you go to my reels here, you scroll all the way down, we'll be able to see the video that I created. So it is this video right here, cinematic shots. So I named it cinematic shots. It got just over 300,000 views. And this is how I positioned it.
10 shots every good videographer knows.
10 shots every good videographer knows.
Come here, Matt. Yes, master. First, the establishing shot.
And instead of just showing the shots, like establishing shot, POV, all that, I wanted to add my own spin to it. And that spin was taking out some of the things I'm interested in. So for example, I really like anime. And I decided to make a video where if I'm gonna show these shots, I'm gonna show it in a way where I'm gonna be beating the crap out of my employee, Matt here, in a anime style way. So we can just continue watching.
Ground shot. Low angle.
Take that. How about this?
Over the shoulder. POV.
I hate you, Matt.
Reverse POV.
So you get the point here. Topic is the same, relatively the same, but the execution and the way I shot and scripted it is entirely different. So that's an example of a way you can start coming up with ideas, is literally go to your competitors, look at their most popular videos, and just recreate them essentially. What's working for them is gonna work for you. And if you can have it in a way where it's better than their videos or in your opinion could be better than their videos, you can see some really good results. So the second method is pulling real life experiences and everyday life for creativity. Now this is a very interesting method because it's something that I do subconsciously and that everyone who is in the content creation space is doing subconsciously. And you're probably doing it subconsciously when you need to come up with content. And before I get into what I mean is you gotta read the book, The Creative Act. This is a great book. It talks about how to unlock your creativity. and I pulled a few notes from like just the first few chapters in this document here. So understanding your creativity. I get questions all the time. How are you so creative, or how do you be creative for your videos? Well, creativity isn't something you're born with. It's something you learn over time. One of the main reasons I got to this level of quote unquote creativity is because I was consuming freaking so much content every single day for the past 25 years, from popular YouTubers to Instagram content creators, from people in Vine. All these creative videos and content I was consuming were subconsciously absorbed in my head. You know, there's many times where I catch myself thinking about how should I film this, and I think about a random video from when I used to watch back in 2015, and I'm like, oh, I should film it like this because this person filmed it like this, right? So this begs the question, how can you learn creativity? Well, the biggest thing is your awareness. So using and cultivating your awareness to create. So every day we are aware of something, whether it be your own thoughts or the outside world. So expand or narrow it, right? And being aware of things, you know, this expands the scope of the material we're able to create from, right? So I'll give you an example. I'm traveling for 10 months. And I'm predicting that in 10 months, I'll have a lot more ideas for what kind of content I should be creating just because I was exposed to so many different cultures. And from those cultures, I can probably extract some lessons in there to put into my content. So the deeper you look at something, the better you're able to extract and create. Now, the experiences and stories you've stored in your mind are all potential elements that seem useful in the moment, and re-showcasing them. So this goes back to my example I mentioned earlier, where all the YouTube videos, all the content I was consuming back when I was a kid is coming back to me when I'm creating content, right? And this is a core drawn through us, which then helps us create books, projects, etc. Even this video format right here, where I'm just kind of going through a document and just talking to a camera. I'm creating this video this way because the best way I've learned is from watching YouTubers who do the same thing. So the key is to be open. If you narrow your focus, it limits your creativity, right? You don't want to have tunnel vision when you're thinking of content. So materials for your creative projects is, again, all around you, from the conversations you're having to the movies, shows, food, etc. If something different happens, ask yourself why it's happening right now. And the more open you are, the more clues come to you. This is a cool quote by the Creative Act, where the world is a conveyor belt with packages going by. Once in a while, you can pick up a package and see what's inside. A great example of this is when you watch a random video and ask yourself how it's shot, what caught your eye, what the tone is for the speaker, etc., etc. So that's the second method. Pretty much to really recap it is just to watch more content and to be more aware of things. Now, the third method is one topic and 3 ideas. So this is something we did with niches that are a little harder to research for. So essentially, here's what we do, and this is what you can do too. So what I have here is called a mirror board, specifically a flowchart, and this is how it works. I have it, you know, laid out pretty simply, but you need to lay out your macro ideas. So an example of a macro idea in my niche is the topic of video editing, the topic of filming, and the topic of how to monetize your personal brand. And from these macro ideas, I then break it down even further. So in video editing, what sort of things could I create that relates to video editing? Oh, sound design, color grading, effects, right? And from these micro ideas, you can break it down even further. So in sound design, we have using risers, or maybe finding the perfect music, right? And this is just a great exercise for you to break down potential ideas for your niche, right? So for the effects right here, if you look at my account again, I have a lot of tutorials on certain effects, like the airplane effect. I have the match cuts, visual pacifiers, the hand stretch effects. You know, a lot of these tutorials stem from the macro idea, which is video editing, right? And then, for example, another good example is, filming. I would break it down to best accessories. And from the best accessories, what I would make a video on is the ND filter, right? I made a video all about the ND filter and how every videographer and every content creator should own one. And then best gear, talk about the lighting or even best settings, right? What kind of settings you need on your Sony or on your DJI right here. And then another macro idea is how to monetize your content. So I would talk about social funnels, brand deals, how to price yourself maybe from brand deals, right? So like if I want to make a video using the idea of brand deals, I would say how to price maybe, how to price. Another one could be how to do outreach for, how to outreach brands, how to outreach brands for brand deals, right? Social funnels, maybe it's about landing pages, right? Landing pages, let's talk about landing pages. Let's talk about maybe using ManyChat. And then from there, I would break it down even further like I did with video editing up here. So again, this is a great exercise for you to kind of go through yourself and see how you can break down your macro ideas all the way down to your micro ideas, right? And then I promise you by the end of this, you'll have just a ton of ideas, right? So that's another way you can come up with unlimited content ideas. And then we have method 4, which is pretty obvious at this point, is using ChatGPT. And specifically the ChatGPT I've built. So from the past 4 years, we've been documenting all of our strategies, all of our frameworks, and even the frameworks that we use right now to blow up my account. And we trained our own GPT on it, from picking and polishing your niche to coming up with ideas, to creating hooks, to scripting out the videos as well. And it's really, really neat. So I'll give you a quick overview on what happened on my GPT. So you would go on the GPT. Let's go right here. Let's make a new one. Okay, so once you're on the GPT, a prompt that I'd like to use is this right here. So let's just do this as an example. I want to create content. Please take me through the steps one by one on what the process is for creating content. Take me through step 1 first. And this is who I am. I've been as an example, a personal trainer for 10 years. I specialize in nutrition and mobility training. Some notable client wins is I got someone to lose 10 pounds in 1 week. Now, this is where you're gonna add as much detail as you can on who you are as a person, what you did, what you do, what your offer is, right? What your goal is with content. But for the sake of this example, I'm just gonna give it something short just to run you through these things step by step. So what I'm gonna do is click on enter. And sometimes with these GPT models, they don't spit out exactly what I want it to spit out, but it's pretty consistent so far. I've been testing it out a lot and been using it a lot recently for my content, or just to get the ball rolling, right? So step 1, define your niche. So these are questions that I pre-trained it on, that I feel like that is important for you to know, right? So an example would be, does your audience have a specific need? Is this audience growing every year? This questionnaire right here is really just for people to know if their niche is a healthy niche, right? Because you can't really expect, let's say, 1 million views on, maybe you can, but 1 million views on something that's maybe kind of boring or not that interested by the mass, right? But it just kind of gives you an idea of how big your niche is. So it says here, can your audience afford you? If you're selling an offer, could they afford you? Do you generally want to help the audience? Content creation is easier if you're passionate about helping your audience achieve their fitness goals, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of breaks down every question, and then it's gonna ask you to answer a couple questions. And if you don't wanna answer them, you can actually just say, please fill out the questions and answers to define my target audience. So once that's done, it'll start jotting down pretty much everything: daily routine, busy professional, likely age 30 to 50, spends most of their day sitting, desk, or meetings, working 9 to 5s, blah, blah, blah. Biggest fears: fear of physical decline, health risk, pain and injuries, fear of developing chronic pain. All these really cool stuff. So what you could do is kind of look through all of these and see if these check out, or if you want to, tweak them a bit so that it has a better understanding of who exactly you are targeting. So let's just say right here, I like what it's spat out. So with this ICP in mind, we have a clear idea of their pain points, goals, lifestyle, which will guide the types of content that will resonate with them. Would you like to move on to step 2, where we start brainstorming specific content ideas for your target audience? Yes, please move to step 2. And let's see what it spits out. Great, with step 2, so some content ideas. So I broke it down in our GPT, 2 different types of content ideas. The first one is educational content ideas, and this is really just to show your expertise on whatever the matter is. And the second one is storytelling ideas. So if you look at my content, again, I'm kind of going back to the types of videos of my content. I have education content. Example of an education content would be maybe this one right here, where I talk about ManyChat, the use of ManyChat.
This tool I'm about to show you has helped me grow from 500.
So this is purely educational, right? And then this one right here is a purely educational video too, where I talk about how I script my content. Something that's more storytelling would be something like this right here, the magic lamp maybe.
This was the best $12 I've spent as a content creator since.
I mean, this is kind of a mix between educational and entertainment or storytelling, but I would like to say this is more of a storytelling video.
You've probably seen this viral item before.
The ND filter is a pretty good one that I think is I focus more on the storytelling on how I want to showcase this this accessory, because everyone knows what an ND filter is in videography or content creation, but I wanted to tell in a way where it's a little more entertaining, right? So yeah, going back to the GPT, so it says here, mobility and flexibility tips, time-saving workouts, topic, 15-minute mobility routine to start your day free, format reel or carousel post, pain points, blah, 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 storytelling content ideas, success stories, your fitness journey, myths debunked, daily routine breakdown, client struggles, blah, blah, blah. Now this would have a lot more detail if, let's say, I added more detail at the start of who I am as a person. So building strong hooks. To make these ideas grab attention, start each post with a compelling hook. Here are a few ideas tailored to your content, blah, blah, blah. Most people think this diet tip works, but it's only half the story. If you're sitting all day, your back is probably screaming. Here's a 2-minute fix. Which of these ideas would you like to start developing further? For the sake of this example, I'm just gonna say, let's do this one right here. Let's do this one. Okay, so here's the hook. If you're sitting all day, your back is probably screaming. Here's a 2-minute fix. Intro to the problem. Briefly explain why sitting all day can cause back pain. For example, sitting puts a lot of pressure on your lower back, especially if you're hunched over a desk. This can lead to tightness and even long-term pain. And then the solution, the 2-minute fix. Walk through 3 simple stretches or movements they can do right by their desks. Here's an example outline. Stretch 1, seated spinal twist. Sit up tall, place your right hand on the back of your chair and gently twist to look over your shoulder. Hold for 10 seconds. And it kind of goes into the other different stretches. And then a call to action, give these a try every few hours and let me know how your back feels. So it's asking for a video carousel. So let's focus on video. And create me a full script. All right, so we got the hook, intro to the problem, with the stretches, and it gives you a call to action. Cool. So obviously it's not perfect. I don't think any GPT is perfect, but again, the purpose of this is to get the ball rolling with your content. And I fed this, again, a lot of our frameworks and SOPs. You kind of get the point. It just gives you an easy way to come up and script out your ideas. But If you want to further understand how I like to script my videos, there's a link somewhere you can click on, which will take you to my other video, which talks about how to script videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found that this video has been very valuable for you, please hit that subscribe button and let me know what else you want to learn in terms of creating content. All this will be linked at the bottom below, and the link to my GPT bot that I've built will also be in the description. So try it out. It's still in V1. I'm still refining it, but let me know if it's helping you streamline your content creation process.